Non-current assets held for sale and discontinued operations. Now, there are two parts to be discussed here. Number one, what if I have some non-current assets which are not being used in the business any further? I just have them as an asset in my balance sheet. I hold them only for sale. I do not intend to use them for any purpose or any utility in the business. That is one category. Second, what if I identify a operation or something, a line of business which I decided to discontinue? In such case, that particular discontinued operation would have set of assets in the balance sheet. How do I account for such assets in the balance sheet? As long as they exist in the balance sheet. So these are the two aspects which we are going to discuss now. Okay. Now the first one, when we have a non-current asset held for sale, that means I have an asset in my balance sheet. However, I am not using it in my business. Hence, I'm planning to sell it off. So, but when I decide to sell, doesn't mean that I find a buyer for that immediately. I would find a buyer immediately for that. So it might take time for me to find a buyer the moment I decide not to hold an asset going forward. Now, when this is the situation, I call it as non-current asset held for sale, and standard prescribes you four things to do. Four things with respect to accounting. Number one, classification. Okay, classification as held for sale. Second, measurement. How do I measure it once it is identified as held for sale? And then you have presentation in the financial statements, and then disclosure. Apart from this, there is one more part called as what if I decided to use it again in the business? That is identified for reuse in the business. These are broadly what we are going to discuss with respect to non-current assets held for sale. Okay. Now, when it comes to discontinued operations, again, your presentation requirements are to be identified, and then disclosure requirements are required to be identified. Okay. Now, broadly, this is what we are going to discuss. Now, be it for non-current assets or discontinued operations, the moment you have decided to not hold them in your books of accounts, that is, not continue to hold them in your balance sheet. So, which means you are planning to sell away your asset, which is existing, which is non-current, or you are planning to sell away the entire operations, the discontinued operations part, to somebody else. Okay. In such case, your accounting would involve normally about non-current assets. That is, predominantly there would be property, plant and equipment only. These property, plant and equipment would have been recorded in the books either at cost model or revaluation model initially using Ind AS 16. Now, what standard says is whatever assets were there in your balance sheet till now, it would have undergone either cost model or revaluation model. These assets which are identified to be held for sale, or you are discontinuing the operations, they should no longer continue to be valued or considered as PPE, in which accounting would be done as per cost model or revaluation model. Instead, what standard says is they are to be brought down to fair value less cost to sell, FVLCTS. Fair value less cost to sell is the price at which you are supposed to bring each of these assets or groups to. Okay. Now, what does this fair value less cost to sell mean? Today, what is the price at which I can sell it? And when compared to the and what is the price I would incur to sell it? That is the total your fair value less cost to sell. So, which means either cost model or revaluation would not apply, and you would recognize the asset under fair value less cost to sell. Second important aspect is the moment it is identified as a non-current asset held for sale or a discontinued operation, there would not be any depreciation which will be charged on these assets. No depreciation. No depreciation going forward till the time you sell off these assets. Okay. So these are the few important aspects which you are supposed to understand. Now, while you classify them from cost model of PPE or revaluation model of PPE to fair value less cost to sell, you are supposed to test for if there is any impairment loss, because in your cost model you would not have tested for impairment unless there is a parameter or indicator for impairment. Otherwise you would not even test for impairment loss at all. But in case of revaluation model, you keep fair valuing it on every balance sheet date. That's all. Now, in either of these cases, you are supposed to test for impairment loss, if any, on the date on which you are converting it into held for sale or discontinued operation. Now, when it is done, there is an amount of impairment loss which you recognize in P&L. Recognize in P&L. Okay. In the subsequent period, if you might be in a position to sell it off, or you might not be in a position to sell it off immediately, because there is no guarantee that all assets will be sold immediately. You state that these are held for sale. Okay. So it might take 1 year, it might take 2 years, or it might take 3 years, or any number of years at times. Okay. When this is the situation, you are supposed to observe how I will be recognizing the asset on every balance sheet date. So that means in the first date on which we convert from cost or revaluation model to FVLCTS, recognize impairment loss. Subsequently, that is the next balance sheet date, test for again fair value, that is the price at which you can sell it. If there is a profit, don't be in a hurry, wait for it. Subsequently, on balance sheet date, okay, again test for impairment. You would find either a loss or a profit. If it is a loss, on every balance sheet date like this, you are supposed to test for if there is any impairment on these assets and keep reducing the value. Any loss will be charged to P&L. If it is a loss, charge it to P&L. If it is profit, to the extent of initially recognized impairment loss, if any, recognize the profit, okay, maximum to the extent of impairment loss initially recognized. That's all. Post that, don't recognize. Okay. That means whatever profit you get, maximum up to impairment loss value, you take it into P&L. Otherwise, you would not take it all. This is what's supposed to be done on every subsequent date, on every subsequent balance sheet date. Clear? Now, post this. Balance sheet presentation. In your balance sheet, you'll have assets under which you have fixed assets, tangible, intangible, and all. After all this, you are supposed to show as a separate line item all of these discontinued assets and non-current assets held for sale. All of this together, you're supposed to show it as a single block. Okay. So one item would be shown for all these assets which you identified as non-current assets held for sale or discontinued operations. Okay, so this is one. Sir, it is identified as separate category under your balance sheet, that is below your what do you call? Am I audible? One second, guys. Yeah, sorry. There's some connection issue here. Now, will it be under current assets or fixed assets? Now, first of all, you would showcase your assets like this, fixed assets, in which you have non-current assets, post which you have current assets. Then there is one more category called as non-current assets held for sale or disposal group held for sale. Okay. So this is the classification which you are supposed to show. That means after your fixed assets, after your non-current assets, and then current assets, you are supposed to do this. Okay. Now, coming to items which are recognized as non-current assets held for sale or discontinued operations. What if in subsequent periods I have decided to use them again in my business? That means an asset which is identified as held for sale is now going to be used in the business till the time it was not sold at all. It was not sold at all till now. In such case, what standard suggests is the moment you are trying to restate or you decided to reuse the asset in your business, it is basically called as change in the plan from held for sale to utilization. Okay, so what should be the value at which I should recognize now? Standard says it should be recognized at lower of these two numbers. Number one, the carrying amount before converting into held for sale, less any depreciation or amortization expenses or impairment losses, whatever you would have actually done using the normal cost model or revaluation model. That number you take. That means think as if no reclassification from normal PPE to held for sale has happened. In such case, whatever depreciation you would have charged, charge all that and then bring it to book value. Okay, this value or second, your recoverable amount on that asset. That means the fair value which you are going to receive on this particular asset. Now, what is the amount of recoverable amount on that particular asset on this day? When you compare these two, whatever is lower, that would be recognized as your asset again. Okay, so predominantly this is what's done. Now, first of all, when should I classify an asset? Broadly speaking, accounting wise, this is done. Okay, when should I classify an asset or a group of assets as discontinued or held for sale? Now, there would be a sequence of events which pass through. Initially, say in 2015 to 2020. In 2015, one of the directors has come up and said that I think there are 5-6 assets which are not going to be used by us in the business at all. Hence, we better have to discontinue, consider them as held for sale, is what one of the directors have proposed in the board of directors meeting, or they have decided to, he has proposed to discontinue a particular line of business. In such case, in 2016, the board might have stated that this is a discussion which needs all our assent. Hence, they have passed a resolution that find out what are the pros and cons if at all operation is being discontinued. And in 2017, they have come up with all the pros and cons. A separate committee is formed. They have discussed everything, and then they have come up with a detailed report. In 2018, the board has taken a decision to discontinue. And from then onwards, in 2019, directors report and all, they have declared it in the annual report also. So these are, and till now he has not sold it. Till now they have not sold it. They have just announced that they are trying to discontinue. In 2019 and 20, somewhere in between, they have stopped using those assets or discontinued the operations really. And by 2020 mid sometime, they have completely stopped using. That is, they have started selling off each of these assets independently. Now, when this is the situation, which is the first date on which I would recognize my discontinued operations in my books of accounts is the question. Standard says the first initial recognition event would be the day on which board of directors have taken decision to discontinue. Whether you have really discontinued it or not is secondary. Board has taken a call now. Tell us, maybe you are continuing to use them just for some operational needs, that's all. Okay. In 2008 March, you have taken that call that you are not going to continue with this line of business, or you have decided not to use these particular assets. That is the balance sheet, or that is the financial statement in which you are supposed to disclose these assets as held for sale or discontinued operations. Clear? So this is what standard talks about in toto about discontinued operations or assets, non-current assets held for sale. Okay. So with this is sufficient for you for understanding. Questions, if you observe, please take out. As I always mentioned, institute material questions are the best. Please go through those. They are sufficient. Okay. So let's move to next topic. Okay. Reclassification, you could not hear. Huh? Okay. I'll repeat that once again. Please see. Maybe there could be a situation where I have identified an asset as held for sale, or I have identified an asset group as discontinued operations. Once this is done, I am going to now reclassify them into normal assets, in which case standard suggests you to do, you take up the value which is lower of these two values. The first value is your earlier carrying amount which was there just before conversion or reclassification into held for sale. Say earlier I had a carrying amount of 1 lakh. Okay. After that I have converted into held for sale for 60,000. Now this happened 1 year back. Think like this 1 year you have not converted into held for sale. You would have charged normal depreciation now. Charge normal depreciation. Say 20,000 is normal depreciation. Deduct it. Say you would have tested for impairment on this particular asset. Say 10,000 has gone for 10,000 as impairment loss. That means your balance sheet value of this particular asset, had it not been converted into held for sale, would have been 70,000. This 70,000, or you have the fair value of the asset. You have the fair value of the asset. What is fair value of the asset? the price at which you are going to, the value which you are going to derive out of it. Okay, that is what we call as recoverable amount. Recoverable amount from the asset, say it is 60,000. In such case, out of these two, lowest value is supposed to be taken, in which case it is going to be 60,000. Say this is 90,000, recoverable amount is 90,000, in which case I'll recognize it as 70,000. I'll recognize it at 70,000. The difference between these two will be taken as profit into your P&L account, because earlier you have recognized loss, no? Against that you are now going to knock off profit. That's all. Okay, so this is what's supposed to be done. Yeah, here it's not going to be fair value is not cost to sell. It is recoverable amount. See, recoverable amount in the sense value in use. If I use this asset, what is that I get out of it? Yeah, 20,000 is depreciation. Okay.